The Prime Minister is fielding questions from the public at the Woodford Folk Festival after facing off against protesters there yesterday. Live to Sky News reporter Joel Philp. Joel, what has he told the audience today?
Well, Samantha, he's been reflecting on his life journey so far, saying that when he was young, he thought it was absurd that he could become Prime Minister. It doesn't appear he's taken any questions from the public yet. He's been getting some fairly softball questions, you might say, from a journalist at this stage, admitting during that Q&A session that he is a Taylor Swift fan. But he was also asked what lessons that he has learned from his predecessors, Prime Ministers over the years, and he managed to captivate the audience with his response.
I think that Australians are sick of the chopping and changing, that they don't want to be yelled at. They want the pace of political discourse to just slow down a little bit, and they want a bit of consistency. Scott Morrison just occupied the space, like nothing happened. There was no legislation.
And Joel, today the Trade Minister has weighed in on the trade barriers with China and that they could be reduced.
Yeah, that's right. Look, Don Farrell said that he's hopeful for a visit with his Chinese counterpart early in the new year, but a formal invitation from China has not been sent out yet to Australia. There are reports this morning that Australia could be willing to prepare to abandon those legal cases with the World Trade Organization over China's banning of some Australian exports, if it were the case that the issue could be resolved through negotiations between the two countries. But the minister today moved away from those statements somewhat, saying that at this stage, those formal complaints, the lawsuits that are currently underway, are the only path that Australia has to resolving that situation with the world's trade umpire, perhaps suggesting that talks are still going fairly slowly and not as quick as some might hope.
I'm not sure there's any easy, quiet way to resolve these issues. They're very much the focus of both our government and the Chinese government. And this is the only way that we can progress these issues. We have an unusual relationship with China in the sense that they continue to be our largest trading partner.
The WTO is set to finalise its reports into the bans of barley and wine sometime in the first half of 2023, and the minister has indicated that they could indeed be favourable to reports to Australia. Now, Mitchell Taylor, who is an Australian wine producer, says that considering the way that the relationship has been going between the two countries, he's hopeful but still cautious, knowing that any deals could take quite a long time to manifest.
I would like to see them almost overnight. I would like to see it, in the next 6 months, because then we could start planning and we could start to get our visits in line. But we do realise that, there still is quite a bit of negotiation to occur.
And Sam, in the meantime, a free trade agreement between India and China actually came into force today, and the Prime Minister and Trade Minister are expected to head across to New Delhi in March, where they're going to try to negotiate on expanding that agreement. There's also free trade agreements in the works with the UK and the EU, so it could be a very busy year for some Australian producers.
Looking like it, Joel. Thank you.